Here we are for episode 31 of the SQK Inc. interviews. For anybody who's already here and wondering why I don't have a usual co-host across the table, well, unfortunately they did have holiday plans and I can't really rip people apart from, their family on Thanksgiving. Although, in the background, I do see there's a couple new buildings there. I thought we had a guest back there, but, maybe it's just buildings, huh? Maybe just... Oh, the buildings are talking. Oh, it's
Hello.
Chonky.
Hi.
At least Chonky's legs.
Hello. Where are you? Where did you go?
I'm down. I'm playing the normal sized person. You got to look at the roofs. Yeah,
Hold on.
All the way down here.
This building?
No. If you see one with a chocolate bar, that's the one.
I'm like, it's just adorable. This is so freaking cute. This one over here?
No. Some of the audience does like to sneak in there every now and then, though, so keep that one in mind.
Okay.
But it's a couple buildings ahead of that. You gotta angle your head just a little more.
Let me go down.
Oh.
Just for nothing. Hello. So it's nice to see you. I can finally see you.
Nice to see you too. Yes, I'm all the way down here. I know I'm not being giant right now. I'm just sitting at my chocolate table.
Why do you have a chocolate table?
So that's actually just a running joke from the very first interview before I had anything set up. Where I was interviewing Noriko, who was big and having banter, and she just went, yes, the table's a chocolate bar. And thus it was spoken into existence. When I got the assets, I had to make the chocolate bar table.
That is beautiful. That is so beautiful. Was there a free nut? Yeah, that was it. Sorry, I'm just reading your chat.
Yes, Dooney, that is indeed what you saw. There was a free nut ticket because Twitch does not like Chonky's thighs, so gotta keep it safe, Plus, Chonky is blessing you during NNN, so free ticket, right?
Free ticket.
Gotta save some people's runs.
it could definitely help a little bit.
Indeed.
So Saru, what have you summoned me here? What is the purpose of this meeting? I'm literally in trouble right now because the local military was telling me to get out of the city. But I'm like, no, I have an appointment with Saru.
Wait. People are trying to instill a military? We built this city just for the interviews and they're trying to move in. Well, that's no good.
I guess they don't like Big Dragon walking around.
Or maybe it's after all the kaiju walking by, they're just high alert in this area.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But I mean, I'm just sitting down, so it's okay. I'm not gonna destroy stuff accidentally. It's not like me. It will be unbecoming. I'm Benny Benevolent Dragon. You see? I don't cause damage.
Very safe to be around. Very safe. Well, as far as why we're actually here, though, today is, like I mentioned vaguely into the sky while you were probably too high to hear me properly, the 31st episode of SQK Inc. interviews. And basically, I called you here today to talk about you and gush over how tall you are right now, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be a lot of questions, and most of them are just going to pertain to, hi, and who is Chonky? What do you do? What is it like?
Yeah, who's Chonky? Do you know Chonky? I don't know who Chonky is. Do you happen to know her?
I would hope you do know Chonky, because that's the first question and the hardest question. Who is Chonky? Who are you?
Okay, I will answer that the same way I do. Who's Chonky, right? Okay,
who's Chonky?
So I am 10% cat, 90% dragon, 200 meters tall transgender girl, and I want to be comfort streamer for everyone. Just happy, just wholesome. I'm benevolent dragon. I do not step on people unless they are walking, and I am unaware looking at the phone, I guess. But it's not my fault now, is it?
That does remind me of our first interaction, more or less, right? The one of the first posts when you were arriving on the scene. It was like, yes, I am very tall, and then everybody starts asking you to step on them, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first thing, apparently the first thing people do when you tell them that you are big, dragon, they like step on me. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna step on you.
All
Get
right, all
away
right.
from my feet.
Just a whole lot of them lining up at your feet, and it's like, no, no, that's not
No,
happening.
no, don't touch it.
That was months ago at this point, right? Well, how long
Yeah,
ago was
yeah.
that?
I don't remember honestly, but yeah, I get DMs like that a lot.
Jeez.
What if we want the pantsu? That's okay, Fairy. You can be in the pantsu if you like. At
Yeah.
your own responsibility. You get adopted. Yeah. So I hope that answers the question, Saru.
I
I,
think it does. That's is a good little introduction to yourself. Some people fumble with that question and be like, wait a second, who am I? I don't know. While others get into a whole pre-planned monologue. So I'm glad that
yeah, no,
you know who you are. Wholesome, big, not stepping on people.
no.
Yep, yep, yep. Although another one I do have to ask, just kind of a general question to get the ball rolling.
Huh?
I'm vaguely aware that you mentioned 10% cat, 90% dragon. You
Huh?
seem to hang out in space quite a bit.
I
But
do?
is there a backstory going on for you? Is there some sort of lore or what happened, or are
I
you just here?
there there is. Uh, Unfortunately, as much as I would like to, I still have not completed the
Ah,
official lore, and I have not debuted
so
as
it
of now.
is still secrets for later.
It could be told slightly, but
Only
mm,
whatever you're comfortable with.
it's more like you know what happens is that I'm trying to when you have your lore, sometimes you tend to overextend slightly in the things that you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. I just want it to be like this happened, that cured, and now I'm here. Like I just want to make it like very conscious, like packed. I don't want to be like explaining the freaking origin of the universe only to tell me, yeah, now I'm streaming on a PC every day. Like, doesn't really like no one wants to hear that.
I was a millions of years old god, and I grew
Imagine
bored.
that. Imagine,
But
right?
now I stream on the internet.
Yeah, and you start with the worst of humans and the civilizations, and then you end up, yeah, now here streaming on Twitch. Like,
And now
wow.
here on Twitch. Indeed, indeed.
I
Yeah,
don't want it to be like that.
I can definitely understand. It is kind of a running joke of how many immortal deities are just casually streaming on Twitch in the VTuber sphere.
Everyone is so overpowered, honestly. Also, I see some of my Chonkyaks in your chat. Is it okay if
You?
I say hello to
Oh,
chat?
absolutely, absolutely.
Hello, Gamma. Fady, hello. Hi,
Hello,
Astra,
everybody.
Brucey, Chaotix as well. All of you guys are cute. And also Didi. Meh.
Welcome, welcome everybody over to this side, and I know a few people who I'm friends with, and maybe even a couple of names you recognize because I know you follow Sanis on Twitter as well from gandering about. But hi Sanis, hi Dooney, hello D, hi everybody, and yes, I do see those follows as well. Thank you for them. I do have the alerts off just to make sure that we can focus on talking about Chonky though, instead of going, oh, I'm so hyped and celebrating me. No, no, no. We are here for Chonky.
But this is your stream as well. It's fine if you do. Don't feel bad about
Is it?
it. It's your show. I'm just here to compliment.
Well, I can appreciate
Yeah.
that, but you did ask, a little bit earlier off stream what, I will hope to get out of these interviews, right? And I mentioned the one thing out of the two of I want to have people be able to play around in these sizey environments and be big or be tiny. The other
Yes.
thing is to just, give people the opportunity to show off, have a little bit of fun, and just talk about themselves in a way that may not get too many opportunities to, right?
So you said that you built this whole city just for me?
Yeah, it's been flattened a few times in other interviews, but we do rebuild the city each time. That way, if somebody does get a little clumsy and bump into a few buildings, or let's say one of the kaiju guests who fires, beams out of their mouth and melts everything, decides to
Wow.
break the city, is just fine. Is built for
So,
that.
so, so you're telling me there is no people in this building right here, right? To the left.
There shouldn't be. If the military moved in there, they're invading my city, so I have no say over if they're there.
So you think it's safe
Oh,
if
absolutely.
I,
Absolutely.
if I I'm just gonna use this one of these buildings as a booba
Mm-hmm.
rest, if that's
All right.
okay.
Oh yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
A
The
booba rest.
they may
It's
they may
very.
not be the most durable,
Do you
but
think it will hold?
it
Do you think it?
might hold some, but it might not look too pretty in the process. It might start crumpling a little.
Uh,
Well, we can only see, right? We gotta test it.
is this? Is this? Uh,
Uh, let's see.
I I
Right
think
around there.
I think it's holding.
It's all it. Well, it kind of held.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm coming back.
Oh, okay. Welcome back. It kind of held though. It held up a lot better than I was expecting.
This
Some
was
people
the
tried.
worst idea in the world.
Hey, it's fine. Sometimes you just need a rest, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's not just it's.
I can't
You just
really
need a
say
building.
I
You
can't
just
say
need
I
a building.
relate too much on that front because I don't really have the booba there.
Yeah,
So
no, it's fine. Sometimes you need some extra support. That
I
was
can
so
imagine.
cute. I was admiring how you set these things up. Like the first time I see an actual interactive scene, it's so nice, so creative, so good,
It's
smart.
all the effort to make sure that the guests can hang out and do whatever they want, huh?
Nyeh.
So the city is yours to destroy if you so please. There shouldn't be people there,
No
but you can
destroying,
also
no.
just relax and appreciate it
Yes,
because
I will appreciate it and preserve it.
you don't have to be chaotic. A lot of people like the destruction, but there's also that gentleness that a lot of people don't really appreciate, right?
Yes, it's important to protect city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ugh, this is funny. What question is coming up on the list?
So, the next question is actually something I noticed a little bit when I was browsing your Twitter and seeing the big old announcement reference post. This one's a little bit of an oddball. I noticed you mentioned that there was a lotus in particular, or
Lotus.
another person, or the opposite of you, something to that effect. Who is Lotus?
So Lotus, all right. So the
Mm-hmm.
name composition of my brand is ChonkyLotus, right?
Yep.
And that is I guess the chord when people usually call me Chonky, and that's the adorable sweet dragon that you know.
Yep.
Um, but as part of the lore of Ghost, which is something that I have been like working on over time. At the beginning, I was trying to portray like at the beginning when I started creating the thing, I was thinking that Lotus was gonna be like some sort of villain. But at the
Mm-hmm.
end, I didn't think that was appropriate because it didn't really fit well into the story. So I was like, how can I merge something that is like that? And then the idea struck me, and it's part of the lore. Um, Lotus is part of Chonky. That is the opposite in nature, mostly because many things happens in the life of Chonky that are not exactly somewhat pleasant, and she ends up creating within herself some form of alter ego to cope with all the situation that's going on. And then Lotus is basically just the entire opposite of her personality. It's like a survival mechanism, you know? Um,
Yeah. I
con-
sort of understand that. I've heard of
it's
something
it's
similar.
unofficial. It's
It's
unofficial though. It might still
it
change. I'm
might
just
still
thinking.
change. It might still change.
I'm just thinking about it. I'm
Well,
just thinking.
for the what we think right now, what we know right now, that'll definitely work then, huh?
Mhm.
So another aspect of you that tried to help you survive any rough times, huh?
It's kind of it's kind of strange. It's kind of strange to explain, but I guess it will be better understood once I finish the lore and release it. I guess. But for now, it's still subject to change. This is why I learn as I go. But
That's
I
fair.
have a
That's
rough
fair.
idea. I have a rough idea of what I want in the end of the day.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And that'll be a couple of warm up questions where it's just like, yes, the oddball things. I want to get into your time streaming now, actually.
Uh-huh.
And well, a lot of this is just going to be looking back over your time streaming. So, and before I get too far into my own head, I do have it set up so that usually people in chat can ask questions too. If anybody in chat wants to add a question that we'll get to in a section soon, feel free to look at the redeems and click add a question. So
Ask
don't be
questions.
afraid. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Throw them out there. If you use that redeem, we will be able to see the questions when we get to the phase. So keep that in
Ask
mind,
questions, or
everybody.
else.
Ask as much as
Ask,
you want.
yeah, do it, or I'll step on you. Just do it.
Wait a second.
Oh.
Wait a second. With the earlier conversation, are we sure that's the threat you want to use?
I do because I'm not gonna do it, but it's just. I guess. All right. I guess people keep asking for that,
Right,
right?
right, right.
Sometimes my punishments are not exactly well thought, and I end up telling people something, and they ended up doing because they want a punishment instead of a stopping.
Understandable, understandable. But, we will definitely get to a lot of the questions as we get to. For now, back to the streaming retrospective. I do see that question,
Yes.
Sanis. Thank you for adding them. Oh, yep, questions are flowing in. All right. So, with your time streaming, one of the
Yes.
questions I love to ask is usually, over your time, has there been any major positive or negative experience you've had while streaming?
Mostly everything is positive. Like almost 99% of the things that happens to me, either on Discord, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, whatever other social media I'm using, Instagram and TikTok, like it's 99% positive. But of course, as you grow, you kind of have to adapt yourself and do certain things differently sometimes. Sometimes you get just people that want to absolutely just be, uh, I don't know, a nuisance. You just have to get rid of them. But overall, it's a great experience. I like it. It's very positive. I'm building my community to be very wholesome, very respectful, very kind, and it's basically a reflection of who I am. So I tend to attract people that follow within that vibe. I also tend to attract people that think they're gonna find like a lot of not safe for work art on my Discord, and then they find absolutely nothing, and they be like, "Oh, I came from the Vuva, but I stay for the personality," kind of like that.
The ones who go and look at you and like, oh, I didn't read the wholesome part. You're
Yeah,
wholesome.
everyone is just like, I clicked your stream because of Booba, but now I'm gonna stay because of the wholesome. Kind of like that.
Yeah, that's
Happens a lot.
well, it's good that it happens a lot and not people being like just absolutely raging idiots when it's like, wait a second, but you're not lewd all the time, constantly, right?
I mean, if I find one of them, I will just ban them anyways. I have no chill when it comes to tolerating people that do not align with the vibe that I want. So
You know,
just get out in a
that's
bonk.
completely respectable, though. A lot of people do need to learn the lesson of your space. You just do what you want and allow people that you want to be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, as well, is there any particular event that you could point to that was like this was a highlight of streaming, or is it just like it's been good the whole way through, and a lot of it's just what you do and how you do it?
Oh, well, most of my streams tend to be like very relaxed in terms of the vibe. Like the kind of a stream you can put on the background monitor and just listen and relax while you're working on your stuff. But yeah, there are highlights definitely when people either are engaging a lot or they try to cheer me up because something didn't go as planned during the game. And everyone is just constantly wholesome. It's like a wholesome, endless cycle and of feedback. Like I do something and my chat likes it, and my chat does something and I like it, and we are just loving each other every single time. I guess it's hard for me to think of highlights because I'm just enjoying every single time I click the live button. I'm like super happy. I'm like, yeah, that's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful experience. I only got like what bot raided once, and it didn't
Oh,
really affect me
jeez.
at all because I had like two-factor authenticator, so it was just like we just laugh about it. Um, my community also cares a lot about me. Like, I honestly, I'm gonna be very honest. I'm blessed
Mm-hmm.
to have certain this amazing friends and supporters. When I have, for example, disclosed the information that, oops, I do not have any food on my fridge today. I forgot to do
Oh,
groceries. The first thing they
I,
do is they send me some tips so I can order a burger. I'm like, holy shit, I feel guilty now. So I just, now I'm filling up my fridge before I go live,
uh-huh.
so, so it doesn't happen. But
Oh,
I love the wholesome. What's
a
up?
lot of supportive people there, like, oh, oh, Chonky in danger, need help? Go.
Not on my watch, right?
Right, right.
I love them. They're so beautiful. Like I don't know. It's just I feel so blessed. Let me hydrate.
It definitely sounds like that's just kind of the dream, right? To have a community that you're absolutely in love with the interactions and looking forward to going live, as opposed to some people where they're like, oh, I'm dreading the live button, I can't push it. So,
I honestly cannot put myself into a scenario like that because why will you do something that is forced? You're forcing yourself to. I'm in love with streaming not because I love Twitch, not because I love the platform or it's because I like the people that hang around, and the same goes with Discord. Like if you don't like your community or you don't like the fact that you're going to interact with people, should you be really going live? Should you really be doing this stuff? I don't know. Like something needs to change if you're feeling like that. I'm not
yeah.
saying you, by the way. I'm not saying you.
No, no, nothing's pointed at me. I understand the general you, the hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm not saying you or anyone in chat. I'm just boing.
Boing. Oh, the train of thought is gone boing. Oh no.
Yeah.
Was I
Next
running an interview?
question.
Oh no. Let's see.
Ugh.
Next question, next question. You actually mentioned communities as well, and that's what I was going to lead into next, so thank you for the easy segue. As far as communities go, you've got your own community that you've been building up and making wholesome. But as far as other communities, say before you started streaming, before you were building your own community, were there any you were involved in that you had good or bad experiences with?
Um, not really. I have just been monitoring everything prior I decided to start doing what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing a lot of research, trying to learn stuff like that, but I didn't really partake in anything. I already have this setup idea in my brain of what needs to be done, and I'm just executing it daily or through the months, and it's working. And that's it. I just, I guess you could say I'm a natural at marketing, at advertising myself and creating content. But a lot of the things that I do now, I didn't really know at the beginning. I have been learning as I go. So I'm improving,
You know?
editing and stuff like that, and community management, moderation, social media management, and stuff like that. You learn as you go. But I guess I do something good because it's working.
Sometimes it's you have an affinity for it and know just what to do. Sometimes it literally is just luck picks up with somebody, and as long as you can bottle that lightning, you go with it, huh?
I suppose I have like one of the things that I really can recognize about me, like it's my one of my best strengths
Mm-hmm.
or traits, is that I am highly empathic. So I can put myself into someone else's shoes, and I can like understand what needs to be said. at the right time, and in order to make things better, or provide people with the support, emotional support that they need. So that's kind of my personality as well. And I was like, well, this is my thing now. I'm just gonna be like wholesome, spreading good vibes. And if people are not feeling well and they need someone to cheer them up, why not do it? Like, why not me? If I am good at that, if I enjoy doing it, even like I have, I have a lot of love to give for my chunky eggs and just protect them.
That's fair. That's fair then. I know some people have whole stories about where they came from and what got them into this originally, but sometimes it is just something you decide to do and roll with it, huh?
Mhm.
Yep, yep. Well, normally I lead into inspirations and major influences then, because sometimes a lot of people have people they looked up to before. But it sounds like well, I don't really know what led you to starting then. What led you to the idea that you would want to stream or,
Oh,
be chunky?
um, well, being a little VTuber, streaming is a big part of it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn. I didn't know. I hadn't a single clue how to set up a single thing in OBS when I started. And I was like, oh no, this is a lot of things that need to be done. But being a long time dream. And when you have a passion and you have been planning something, and then you run into a little obstacle such as how to stream on OBS, well, you learn it. You learn it. You just go for it and just grab some knowledge and slowly apply it, and that's it. I just decided one day I wanted to do this, and I woke up, spawned into the world, and it was like, I'm gonna become VTuber. I'm gonna do this stuff. Ugh.
You know, that's fair.
Oh,
That's
you have
fair.
question.
Well,
You have
there,
questions in chat, by
yeah,
the
I do
way.
got a lot of questions. Once I finish up with the talk about streaming, I'm gonna go into the next section where a lot of those get caught up with.
Okay.
So I am letting them build up because normally after the streaming, I go, it's the free space, Chonky. You can ask any question or talk what you want about, and also my co-host. You've been sitting there building up questions. Oh wait, I don't have a co-host.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I'm letting the questions cover a little bit of that work for me and build up.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
So next question, and looking back over your time streaming so far,
Yes,
is there anything you change, or do you think you're happy with how you've done everything so far?
I'm happy with everything.
Happy with
Basically,
everything?
yeah, I mean, when I started, I was streaming every day, kind of like the
Mm-hmm.
first week, and then I quickly realized I was a little too much, so I slowed down. I cut down a few days off, and now I only stream 4 days a week, and I have been doing that consistently for months. I don't think I have ever missed a single one of my streams, aside from the time I got suspended and then my computer kind of burned. Not literally, but the cooling system failed. But aside from those things, I have been very consistent about it. I think it's good. I'm very happy with the amount of time that I'm streaming, around 3, 4, 5 hours at best. And yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just grateful for the opportunity of existing like this. It's nice to be alive.
Yeah, it's definitely a lovely attitude to have. Though, I could frame the question in another way. Is there any advice you'd like to tell your earlier, younger self? Maybe
Oh,
not change anything, but something you'd have liked to have heard back then. Or maybe something you did hear and was really important.
mm, that's a good question. If I could go back in time and tell me some advice, I guess that would be. mm, I guess work on your Discord earlier.
That's
Like,
fair, that's fair.
I really realized the power of Discord some months ago, probably 5 months, 4 months ago. But I didn't really put that much effort in my first or second month. Although I was active, I was not as active as I am right now. So I guess that's one of the best advice I can give myself. Like, Your Discord is everything. It changes your whole streamer career. It's also time consuming, but it is
Yeah.
good time consuming in a good way because you're spending it with people that are freaking adorable. So it's not a waste of time. It's just a nice hangout space. I guess if you build it to be that way.
Uh,
I will start like that. I will just say, hey Chonky, when you start, before you go viral on TikTok, make yourself a Discord and be highly active so you can retain the people that follow you or found you through TikTok, you know?
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. And now that's normally the part where I segue into the free space. So, Chonky, if you have anything you'd like to talk about or you would like to ask in return, feel free. But I'm going to turn my attention towards those chat questions that have been building up.
Well, I
So,
like to know. I'd
oh,
like to know. Yeah, of course I would like to know. Like I have seen certain things about you on Twitter. Like sometimes you're like normal size and then you're like big as a planet or bigger than a planet. Like how does that work? How do
so
you I cannot grow or shrink.
for that one, it's a little bit funky. So basically, you see the little necklace I'm wearing down here, right? It's probably really tiny for you.
Mm, it's like a pouch.
Yeah, it's a little pouch. So roaming around the world, wound up picking a little bit of a fancy necklace that had, ashes of Fenrir apparently, or something that just means I keep growing, and I really have to fight against it if I want to be normal size like this. So it's just
Uh-huh.
kind of magically growing, and it's kind of a condition sometimes. I'm stuck like that, so it's a little stubborn.
Interesting. I guess that's a cool thing. Like interesting. Thank you for the
I
answer.
mean, as a
Appreciate.
mouse, you don't normally expect big, right? Or even 6 foot tall. Normally, it'd be like 3 inches tall, if not for this. So,
Wow. Okay, yeah, that's a
right, right.
small. That's really small.
That
I
would
can
be around mouse size.
mouse size. No, that will be impossible for me to see, I think.
It would be very, very difficult indeed.
With a magnifying glass, maybe I can.
Although I think at
Hmm.
your size, and if I was 3 inches tall, that might be a magnifying fryer. A little sunbeam
I'm
comes
not
in, it's
gonna
like, oh
I'm not
no.
gonna reflect the sun on you. Don't, I'm not like that. I will never do. Guys, you know me.
Never intentionally, yes.
I
But
am
sometimes if
innocent,
it's
right?
hanging around, it pointed the wrong way and shines off a building, right?
Oh yeah, no, I understand the consequences of being big
Mm-hmm.
in a small city. Like even your tail, you're not paying attention to it, and boom,
Oh,
just
yep.
destroys something,
Indeed, indeed.
and then you get blamed. No.
All right. Let's see. Looking at the questions, one that was prepared an hour before the interview by D, who was hanging around the whole time. What is better, waffles or pancakes?
Well, that depends on the situation, I guess. Like waffles are really delicious, and pancakes can be good in the morning with some maple syrup. But waffles are also like, for example, you see Chaotix right now in your chat. I know them
Mm-hmm.
about being a very waffle enthusiast. So it's kind of like a weird question, I guess. I
Yeah.
like both. In depending on the situation, I like both. I like I guess waffles sometimes, and then the others on the morning as well. The Waffle House. Yeah.
There goes Chaotix with the Waffle House and a whole rave for the Waffle House.
It's kind of hard, however, you understand probably to get food when you are this big. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah,
just order something and then I have the NASA send me
I
like an
imagine,
Uber.
at your usual size, a waffle and a pancake, they don't have too much difference.
No,
They're both smaller than bite size, right?
unless it's made tailor for my size, then it's okay.
Let's see. The next question that's been building up from Sanis Sangria. What was your reason for being a giantess?
Mm, I guess this was just something that I created within the lore. Like I was, you know, thinking about the whole prospect of it, and
Mm-hmm.
simple answer. I just came up with the idea because I always thought dragons were big. So I was like, I'm gonna make this cute anime dragon thingy, and it boom. At first, I wanted to be like, I don't know the numbers. I think at first I made a miscalculation and I threw a number that was too big. Then I kind of realized when I was looking in a size comparison chart website, and I was like, oh no, that's way too big. I kind of like cut it down a little bit. I reduced the numbers.
A little bit. You tuned it back when you realized, oh, that's massive. That's
Yeah.
big.
Oh, I see Nessie in your chat.
Yep.
Oh,
We
Nessie,
just got Ness
hi.
popping in here. Hey, hello, Ness. Hello,
So
hello.
adorable.
All right. The next question in the queue, unless you got something else on the mind.
Go ahead.
All right, we have Chaotix asking, is mayonnaise a question?
No.
All right, in which case, next question. From Fairy Dooney, are there other dragons like you, Chonky? Like, are they around your size and humanoid like you?
There used to be, but
Oh,
then the thing happened, and they are not anymore. It's just me.
it's just you.
Yeah, it's just me. The thing happened. The lore happened. That is not
The
still done.
lore
The
happened.
I love how everything keeps going back to the fact that I am a lazy content creator and I didn't really finish my lore yet, even though I'm 7 months old VTuber.
Hey, you're doing a lot of stuff. Don't call yourself lazy like that. And besides, as far as the lore goes, I made it up as I went. When I started for like the first year, it was just okay, I'm me, but with mouse ears. And that was the entire story. So you do a lot. Just because you don't got, the exact details of your lore settled down doesn't mean you're lazy.
Okay.
You do honestly a lot more work.
What is the
So
next question?
that's a good question. So
That's a
Dooney,
good
there's
question.
your answer, but Sanus is next again. Did you come into streaming with prior knowledge on what to do?
No. I
No.
mean, I didn't know anything about OBS and how to stream on Twitch. Like, I absolutely learned only when like watching tutorials for a full day. The only thing that I really knew is that I was gonna make it big, based on the strategies that I already had understand about how to manage social media and how to use the algorithm for social media to work for you. Because nowadays, like there is literally no human being working on any social media. Everything is just reviewed by robots, and every time you appeal something, you get a robotic response.
Yep.
So I was thinking, well, how can I apply this to my benefit? And then I was just thinking, okay, that's how it works. So I was doing research, and then I applied it. But I didn't have a clue how to stream. It was so funny watching my first stream compared to now. I have definitely improved the quality greatly.
I remember sneaking into one of those early streams as well, and
Oh
I
no,
actually snagged one of the founder badges too, sneaking over
you
there.
do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I
so
remember that.
whenever I, pop in every now and then, it's like, oh, I have a founder badge to, be shiny and sit around and then just watch Chonky be Chonky.
You can flex the founder badge.
Yeah, every now
It
and
was
then.
fun. It was fun though. I have been having so much fun learning. But no, I did not really have any knowledge about streaming. I learned everything within a whole day of sitting watching YouTube tutorials and asking friends, how do I do this? How do I do that? And that was the answer.
Well, at the very least, from what I saw, it was definitely better than some of the streams I've had when starting off. There was this one time I streamed where I just didn't do the game capture part of playing a game,
Mhm.
and I didn't have a model yet or even a picture, so it was just a black screen with me reacting to a game nobody could see.
Oh no.
Right,
That
right.
sounds so tragic.
Or the time relatively recently where I was playing a game and I was streaming for an hour, really, living it up, talking, chatting, a couple people even subbed during that time, and I never hit start. I was just like, I got faked out by two people subbing that I didn't even realize I wasn't live.
Ah, that's so sad.
It was quite the experience.
That must have been like what a weird realization. Like, holy frig, what just happened?
I had the biggest face palm, and I was like, oh no. This was a good stream. It just wasn't a stream.
It wasn't a stream at all. It was all in my head. Like you're literally imaginary your chat and everything. That was beautiful though.
Right. It was definitely something. And I do spy Ness popping in a question outside of the redeem, so before it gets lost in chat. Ness is asking, how did you come up with your design, especially the colors?
Oh, Nessie, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I kind of remember. I kind of remember taking like a lot of time thinking about it, and I was thinking the horns, the wings. Like I can show here, bam. The wings, and I have other.
Wingspan's bigger than the city.
Yeah, the wingspan's bigger than this. If I flap the wings, it's a tornado, I guess.
I'm glad I don't have a hat. I would need to hold on to it very tightly.
Don't worry. It's basically a combination of different things that I have had like, and I have been like attuned, related to cosmic stuff, dragons, and I guess some early designs in my own imagination when I was very, very like small. And I was thinking the pattern of the scales, like the outer color, you see it's darker than the inner color, right? Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I was taking some inspiration in certain stuff. Animals, I guess. Um, the face is just a random thing. Like it looked cute as it is. The horns, the ears, the everything, and the color palette as well was like I want almost one or two colors that are monochrome. Like black for hair, and the scales either the same color or a variant of the same color. So one is dark blue, and then there is light blue. And that's it. I kept the same thing all over the rest of the. Yeah, don't mind the nut ticket, by the way. All over the rest of the thing, and when I told the concept that I had in mind to my VTuber mom, she was like, "Ooh, that thing that looks amazing." So she did a few changes. She updated a few of the things that I wanted based on her own vision because she knows better than I do in terms of rigging. So a few things were, removed and others were added, and that was it. Kind of like a weird answer, I guess, for specific questions because it's very vague. It's kind of hard for me to explain it.
You didn't really have a singular component to the answer, just a lot of factors coming together that you really wanted to go off of.
Yeah, but I think it pay out. It looks really cool. I think it's cool. I really like my own design. I know it kind of sounds narcissistic to say, "Oh yeah, I look really cool," but I really think I look cool.
Definitely. I also think the design's amazing, and you look really good, and especially if you could lower a little. Yeah, the hairpin up there. That's also a nice touch, right?
Yeah, I can put it on. I can take it off. I was like, I'm gonna signal to everyone that I'm a trans girl, and I'm like, yeah, how do I do that without like, when I was like the design, how do I do that? Like, where do I put this? And then I understood the thing that people are gonna be looking the most is my face, so I'm gonna use a hairpin. That's it.
Yep.
It's not intrusive to the model. It's just an accessory, and it's there. It looks cute.
Yeah. Makes sense, and I'll definitely have a couple of little questions to touch on that later as well, because it is you're doing quite the thing, and I imagine a lot of people can look up to you with regards to just being yourself, being as trans woman, right? So we'll touch on that a little bit later, but back to the questions at hand. The Localdan, or Local Dan, okay.
Local Dan, hello.
Yeah, Local Dan.
He's a chunky.
Yeah, they're asking, can Saru become a part of the Chonky eggs?
Yeah, you can be adopted.
Fair enough.
You're pretty busy probably running your own community and your own stuff, but yeah, you can be a chunky egg if you like.
I do like to sneak in over on your side and try to say hello every now and then, even if my brain is easily distracted, and unless I have a convenient, gift to give someone, it's like, how do I say hello to people?
It's okay, don't worry. You're fine.
Right. That's a big part of like the first interactions I went was like, okay, Chonky fun. I gotta try to draw something for Chonky. That way I have an excuse to keep talking.
You didn't have to really, but yeah, I
Yeah,
guess some
I
people will
I
think.
get that I didn't have to, but that's how my brain works and wires itself. So it was like, must gift friend something.
Yeah. I hope
Let's
that
see.
answered your question, Nessie. You're so cute and also very adorable. How big is Nessie again? She's a
Oh,
kaiju.
yeah, she's a
She's ka-
kaiju. We
she's
would have
kaiju,
to.
yeah.
Hey Ness, how tall are you again? How big?
How tall is Nessie?
We'll see
She's
when
so adorable.
we
Her
pop
model
up
is so
in chat.
adorable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like you look at her face and it's like this is the most innocent face, and then you hear her and you're like, oh, yeah, she's still innocent, but she's she.
Yeah, actually
What do
had
you?
her on an interview earlier as well, and she may have wound up bapping the moon with her tail.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Let's
All right,
see.
more questions.
While we try to fish up Ness's answer, it looks like Sanis has a couple more questions. First one: when you started to take off in popularity, were you first overwhelmed, or were you able to keep yourself calm?
I'm always been the same. With 3 viewers when I had my first stream,
Mm-hmm.
or I guess with I don't know what's my peak number on viewers. What it was 110 or something. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just a number. I'm just here to vibe and get to know people and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers are whatever. Like I I I don't mind it. Like mm, I don't know if sometimes my brain doesn't even realize that. Yeah, sometimes I have blew up on social media, and I'm like, nah, it's like I don't pay attention to that. I don't. It doesn't really change me or bother me at all.
No,
Just
that's
myself.
fair. That's fair. It sounded like, based on your earlier talking as well, you more or less looked into and understood how the social media stuff goes. So, doing your best and getting the results you were kind of expecting, just you're still being you, right?
Yeah, but this is the same ChonkyLotus you have met at the beginning, and the
Yep.
same ChonkyLotus you're gonna meet in 10 years from now. So it's the same thing. I don't change my personality regardless of the success, or little success, or no success, whatever comes in the
Chonky
future.
is chonky.
Chunky's chunky no matter what.
Oh, and it looks like we actually got an answer from Ness in chat. 430 feet or 130 meters.
Ooh, she's cute. Small.
Oh.
I
Let's
didn't.
see.
No, not really small, but that's really tall as well.
It can be
Interesting.
relatively short for the height comparison, but that's big.
Yes, big.
Let's see. The
Ah.
second question from Sanis that as a fellow giantess, what do you use as shampoo or soaps? It's a more silly question.
So, since I keep everyone I like in my pantsuit, I
Mm-hmm.
have the
Mm-hmm.
commitment to shower daily. But when it comes to hair, like this hair that I have is so long, the upkeep is, it takes time.
Yep.
I just, when I need shampoo, I just order it from the earth and they ship it via a rocket from the NASA and they send it here. Yeah, I have shampoo and I have soap. I have both. I even have some stuff for my facial skincare routine. I'm totally not depleting the resources from Earth by doing this. It's like a
Definitely
simple
not.
shower. Yeah, a simple shower can deplete so many shampoos from Earth. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. Yeah, but I have my needs. It's justified, right?
It's for the sake of hair care. All can be justified.
And yeah, and also to look pretty on the stream, so that's justified. I'm just causing environmental disaster by
Oh
existing.
no.
Oh no,
Oh no, indeed.
that's that's usually how it goes, though.
Let's see. Oh, looks like Sanis has a little bit of an update trying to compare the sizes for reference.
Uh
Sanis
huh.
believes that Ness would come up to your stomach and that she would come up to your chest. As far as
To
height
the booba,
comparisons. Yeah, to the booba.
the booba. Nessie, that's so cute. Maybe we
And
should get like an art commission.
well, art commissions are definitely fun. Art with friends is always good. Let's see.
Ye-
A question from Tekirin. Pizza, pasta, or both?
Both. Both is
Both is
good.
good.
Both is good.
Both is good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see. Question from Gamma X.
Gamma, hello.
How would you feel if I drew you an outfit?
What kind of outfit do you want to draw me, Gamma? And this is like I guess not for my model, right? I mean, for an art piece. You can do whatever, Gamma. I trust you. You are a very nice Chonky Egg member of my community. So if you want to draw me any outfit, you have my permission to do it.
Well,
Go
you
for it.
hear that, Gamma? Go for it, go for it. Draw
Yeah.
outfit, have good time.
Like I know this is my kind of uniform to stream, this little thing that I have wearing, but yeah, I can definitely like sometimes wear different things, more casual clothing, you know. Doesn't have to be always like the dragon chunky dragon uniform thing.
Yep. Let's see. We're down to the last 3 or so questions, unless more people in chat feel like they want to add in some. So, back to chaotics. I guess this question applies to both of you. What inspired your species of choice, and what would you recommend for others trying to find their own thing?
Do you want me to answer this, or do you want to answer that, and then I?
I got a very specific answer, which may not be too helpful for their goals of figure out your own thing, right? So you have an answer ready, or shall I buy you time?
Well, when I was trying to create my own thingy, I was like, I like dragons. I love dragons, right? And dragons are good, but sometimes dragons can appear to be a little bit too menacing. And I was debating with myself. I was sitting there and I was thinking, how do I make this cute? Oh, that's easy. Just make it part cat. And that's it. That was 10% cat.
That's where the
90%
10% came from.
Yeah, I was like, just to make this thing cute. How do I make it cute? How do I excuse myself from being an absolute disaster on the city if I am standing over it because I'm too big? Oh, wait, I'm part cat. And then I can excuse myself if I knock over buildings, if I do stuff like, no, it's just my part cat. You can just deal with it. It's fine. You get away with a lot of things if you say you're a cat. So that was the thing. That was my idea.
As a mouse, I have a few things to say to cats sometimes.
Ooh,
You
I
know
can
how many
imagine.
you know how many cats look at the mouse and go, "Ooh, tasty toy,
Yeah,
fun to play with." There's too many, too many.
yeah.
As far as my own answer with why I picked mouse, it is a silly answer. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, I just really like mice or anything like that to start with. It was, okay, I wanna have these sizey elements, being big, being small, and all that. But I wanted it to be, natural and not raise too much suspicion. And I was like, okay, I didn't know I wanted to be, big all the time. So I was like, what is natural and small and can hang out around places? A mouse. And then it all spiraled out from there.
I get it.
That's as far as it goes, though.
Also, Chaotix, I already know your model. Like, you don't have a model because you're not exactly a VTuber, but your persona is a mushroom. I think that's very damn unique.
Yeah.
Like a little monster that lives inside a mushroom plushie. It's like so freaking unique. Like, if you ever become a VTuber, holy frick, that's gonna be like out of the ordinary. That's out of the ordinary. Very good choice. I like things that are out of the ordinary. I have seen plenty VTubers that look like Genshin Impact characters. Nothing wrong with that, but it's like, okay, yeah, I've seen it. It's not full. Like, I don't know if you know, Saru. There is this recent VTuber, Gas Akanta. Like, they're also what, 250 meters a spider
Oh.
thingy. Yeah, and I recently discovered them on Twitter, and like that's unique. When you look at her
Yeah.
model, it's pretty damn unique. Like, I like uniqueness. That's what I'm trying to say.
Uniqueness definitely stands out, and just be yourself, huh? Do what you want to do. Let's see, I'm gonna skim chat just to see if any questions got asked that were not part of the redeems, and back at the start, when you threatened with the steppies if they didn't push the button, we have Neonquill, another mouse I know, saying, "Wait, you telling me if I don't ask, I get steppies?"
This is exactly what I was
With the
saying at the
hype
beginning.
emote afterwards, yep.
Exactly what I was saying. Like when you
Uh-huh.
try to discipline your own community by saying, "Hey, stop spamming that, or I will step on you." They be like, "What? They get
We
to be
get
stepped on?"
steppies? We get
And
steppies?
I'm gonna do it more then. I'm like, no. I need to really rework how I punish my chat because most of the time I try to punish them. They feel like more like rewarding.
Yeah, it's fair, that's fair. Let me see, skimming to see if there's any other questions that slipped between the redeems. It's okay, Chonky, I'm redoing my entire lore, Santa says, in regards to one of the much earlier questions. So yeah,
Okay.
lore is an ever-changing thing. Don't feel bad to not have a finished story.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. It's just a thing. It doesn't define you. It's just a compliment to who you are, not who
2-inch
you are
wolf
per se.
boy snuck in between a couple, saying, "I must have missed it. How big is Chonky?"
Oh, 200 meters tall.
200 meters.
Are they
And
really 2-inch tall? That's like very
it's very
small.
tiny, very tiny. Even
I
compared to, a mouse who would be 3-inch tall. It's
two
very tiny,
inches.
right?
I don't think I can see you. I'm
I
sorry.
I think I know a cat girl who's 1 inch tall because she's a fairy's cat.
Okay, that's
Yep,
cute.
yep. And let's
I
see.
mean, as long as they are not nearby me when I'm unaware of their existence, like nothing bad is gonna happen.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
gotta make sure you're aware whenever. Well, the tinies gotta make sure they give a little bit of notice. Send an email or a text or a big old plane to say, "Hi, we're gonna be visiting
Send an
soon,"
email.
right?
Yeah, they need to be like wearing. You know what needs to be done? Like in my iPhone, I
Uh-huh.
probably should be having like an app that allows me to locate via
Ah,
GPS where are the tiny.
the
So
tiny tracker app.
I avoid. Yeah, so I avoided stepping.
Understandable,
It's
understandable. Let's see.
tiny app finder
Tiny
in
app
case you lose
finder.
them. Yeah, that's cute.
You must register your tiny friends in order to be able to see their location.
Yes.
Let's see. Kaijuzilla's asking, can you all shrink to human size? Are y'all big?
I
So,
can't.
yeah, Chunky cannot. I can definitely shift size every now and then because magic. Ancient wolf magic is a little bit funky. But Chunky is just big. Big
Only
Chunky.
for art, for certain art, maybe for art convenience. Like, yeah, I can do that, but not lore
I mean,
wise, I
art
guess.
takes creative liberty,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not like going to say no. Like every time you wanna draw me, make me big. Like, nah, that's whatever. I adapt it, but lore wise, it doesn't happen.
All right, and let's see. That caught most of the ones that were back and forth between. So, we're at 3 final questions again. This is what, the third time? 2-inch Wolf Boy
Questions coming.
asks, "What is the game you're best at?"
Oh, I like comfy stuff, but games that I'm best at. Let's see. I like Maple Story. I'm really good at Maple Story. I like
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
I like survival wars. Like I have big brain for that. Although I only have 2 brain cells left, I do have good survivability skills for staying alive during chases. Building things. I really never die unless I don't absolutely know nothing about a game. But yeah, I mean, that's all my basic stuff. I guess my
That's fair.
forte.
That's fair. As far as comfy games go, I don't know too many of them, but have you played Slime Ranch or Stardew Valley?
I
Something
have
like
been
that?
suggested. I
You've been
have not played
suggested them?
them. Yeah, I have been suggested. I have to try them. I have been told they're really good at comfy.
Yeah, They're definitely just games that you can kind of take at your own pace if you want. No
Mhm.
overarching super timer clock that's like you have 3 minutes to do this or failure. No, none of that.
I also like games that put the stress on you, but not all the time. Not for Twitch. Like my Twitch is more about
Uh,
being comfy and happy.
I understand. I may butt my head against some of those difficult games sometimes, where it's like, some of the one of the people who regularly attends my streams talks about, oh, this is my favorite game because there's always one, a hilarious new way that Saru dies, and two, some weird unexpected sentence because of the game.
Oh,
So,
I
like
I
my
got it.
my criminal record involving stealing eggplants. There, that's just part of the gameplay of Spelunky 2, and it's like, oh, yep, that is what is happening now.
These are good questions, by the way. I gotta give
Mm-hmm.
it to your chat. They're really
Oh, yeah.
nice.
A
They're
lot of
like,
them are definitely asking good questions,
yeah,
both from
you guys are great.
around my community and your community popping in with the good questions too.
Yes.
Let's see. Sanis is making a comment about the two brain cells. They're really big brain cells, right? So that makes up for it
I
because
guess,
big
but I mean,
head, big brain cells. Yeah.
but I'm also big, so maybe like if you were like normal size and you had the brain cells that I have, maybe yeah, that's a lot of power. But in my case, it's the same. Like it doesn't really make me smarter.
It's proportional to the person inside. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Let's see. Dooney is asking a question, and looks like this one is a bit of a long one. So, this one might be a touchy subject, so feel free to ignore. Since you're a trans girl, does this sometimes make streaming difficult when you get unwanted attention from certain people, or do you not let it bother you?
Hmm. Well, I know that sometimes people don't. Um, how can I put this? Sometimes people are just absolutely immature beyond redemption.
Mm-hmm.
They they have already, you know, I guess set up in their minds that they just want to make a remark in order to get a reaction. When it's rare that happens during my streams, that I happen to get someone mentioning, "Oh, you sound not as I expected." And if I can understand people being like, "Yeah, you look, you know, I was expecting something different," and I can respect that opinion. But then when they try to push it and be like a little bit more trollish, I just ban them. Like, okay, just get the fuck out of here. Just get lost. Whatever. Like, and my reaction to them is like, for example, imagine right now I'm streaming and I'm like, yeah, guys, and we're talking about this. Yeah, and then this happened. During that silence, the person was gone. Like they just they just were flushed down the toilet, never to be seen again. So no,
Just
it
a
doesn't
single
really
moment
bother
of
me.
fluke.
It doesn't really bother me. Like I have developed a very thick skin because I know what is the extent of what people can do with their words, and I'm like, I already deal with this. I real plenty times. It's not gonna bug me at all. You just get on with it. Just say your joke, state to everyone your mental age. That you are absolutely immature, and then just get out.
Yeah.
Doesn't really bother me. Like if not at all. It comes to the point in which like my community are, my friends, the people around me, um, they jump in to mention and to call out a person that maybe do that without me even having to do it. But of course, as a streamer, I'm not gonna allow for a person with that level of toxicity to remain. So they just punk, just
Just
grab it.
bonk.
I have a name for people like that. I call how I call my community Chonky X, right?
Uh huh.
Whenever we have someone that is breaking rules or being absolutely bad, I call them rotten eggs, and then
Yeah.
we give them to no, to chaotix, like the mushroom that was early in the chat.
Oh.
They want to eat chunky eggs. It's like a cute meme, but we give them the rotten eggs. We just meme around it. Yeah, you remember we had a rotten egg yesterday? Yeah, the chaotix ate it, kind of
Oh,
like that.
that
But
sounds
I
like it's a fun thing for the community though as well to get in on. Yeah, that kind of behavior is not welcome. So we're just gonna make light of it and have a good time being around Chonky.
I gotta tell you though, on TikTok and Instagram, sometimes it gets a little out of hand
Ooh.
because the level of virality you can acquire there is way different than on Twitch, right? When you are in your comfort zone, when you are with your community,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to manage. But for example, I have had videos on TikTok that have reached 1 million views, on Instagram as well, or half a million views, and you start getting a lot of hate. Not exactly the majority, but you start
Mm-hmm.
to get hate not just because of how you sound or how you look, but also because of you're a VTuber. And you just have to deal with it. You just have to go with it because, the internet is just full with a lot of trolls. And it doesn't really bug me. But I certainly recommend people that are trying to grow like I did. Like, you have to be prepared because you're going to get a lot of comments that are like that. And you just have to ignore it. Just whatever. It's people trying to get a reaction out of you. Just
Yeah.
but
That does also touch on a couple of questions I had prepared as well because I was curious as someone who I'm just a cis dude. I'm just sitting there like this is what internet people sometimes think, just typical guy on internet. Yeah. So I
Mhm.
really don't know or have the experiences you have with regards to being trans and how people react and what you might want to have heard when you were first, realizing yourself and coming into who you want to be.
Mhm.
And I was kind of wanting to just ask if you have any words of advice or comfort for people who are still just figuring themselves out or have figured themselves out but don't quite have the best situation to go for it yet and be themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's you gotta understand that it's not just about being trans. It's
Mm-hmm.
just about existing in life.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to love yourself first. I know dysphoria can be a bitch, and that you can hate certain parts about you or how you sound, but you first need to learn how to love who you are. Once you are comfortable with that and just start working towards whatever you want to become, people opinion become kind of irrelevant. It loses a lot of value. Like, if you are trying to appeal, of course, it also depends to what kind of audience you want to reach, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to appeal to people because of something that is unnatural to you, like for example, I'm not calling anyone out that might be using a voice mod or a voice changer, but I have seen people that use voice changers, and it's quite obvious to tell that using a voice changer, and sometimes it's quite obvious to tell that behind the voice changer there is a voice that usually will be referred to as a manly voice. Now, maybe the voice changer is their thing. Maybe they are doing it because they don't want to be um, criticized or make fun of because their model looks absolutely feminine and then their voice is like the most manliest. But here's the deal: you do not need to appeal people like that in your community, in your life. You're doing it wrong. First of all, you're doing it wrong because either one day your voice mod fails and your real voice comes out and everyone is going to pick it up. Maybe they're going to be angry because they feel deceived. I will suggest you, if you're going to start, whatever it is it that you do, be honest from the start. Be honest about that. Hey, guys, I'm a trans girl, or yeah, or simply state it like, dude, I like to have a feminine avatar and I have the manliest voice in the world, and I have a beard, I go to the gym, I'm a chat, a real, but here in the VTuber, I want to be a cute anime girl. Once you are honest about that and your beginnings, it's okay. You're not lying to people. You don't have anything to hide. It's just yourself, and people will find you and like you because of who you are. But if you try to tell a lie to appeal to people, I don't think it's gonna go really well. So, you know, be honest. Love yourself. Then be honest about who you are and just roll with it and freak the world. Like, they don't care. Like, it's whatever. You will attract the people that matter, not the trolls. Don't try to appeal the wrong people. That's my best advice. Let me hydrate.
All right, all right.
Ah,
Ooh, there's a whole lot that I just got to sit there and listen because, yeah, I don't got the experiences that a lot of people have, and it's best to just let the people who do have and do know talk. So, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing all that, Chonky.
And also, I want to reply to
Oh,
Sanus saying that
yep.
Sanus, for example, uses voice changer because they're playing a character. That's absolutely fine. That is not
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I was referring. I was trying to talk about the people that are still don't have the voice they want, or they want to sound or
They're
be
they're trying to
something.
present themselves outside of where they're naturally at and comfortable. They're
Yeah, I
trying to
mean,
put
if
on
you're a
something.
character, if you're playing a character, that's understandable, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure people know this. Like, that's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure people are aware that this is the vibe and this is what happens. So that you also save yourself a lot of comments like, oh, this person is hiding. It's probably like the typical TikTok comment, right? It's probably a 50-year-old
I
guy sitting on
I've
a
heard
Discord
the
moderator.
cesspit of TikTok is quite
My God,
something.
oh my God, the amount of comments that I have gotten like that, it's just like people
Mm.
think it's funny, but it's very like repetitive.
I
You
think I
get used to it.
remember somebody mentioning it was either Sanus or Ness mentioning one of the TikTok comments was something like, "I drink concrete," and that
Yeah,
I get no context beyond that.
I mean, this is the thing, right? TikTok
Uh huh.
audience, like 90% of them are just there for quick satisfaction, short videos. Um, and they have the ability to create many accounts with just an email. Like, you don't even have to
Mm-hmm.
verify your phone or anything. So, one day one dude decides to make an account out of nowhere and just insult everyone because he felt like it, and you never know if you're getting affected by it. They're just very responsible with how they handle things on TikTok, and sometimes Instagram happens as well. But it's whatever, honestly. It's just you have to grow a thick skin. The more viral you go online, the more you're gonna attract good and bad, both of them. You have to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to handle this stuff before you even decide to start. You don't want to give them a reaction, as someone was saying in chat. You never give them a reaction. You just
You
bonk them
don't
without
feed the trolls.
silently. No, never give a reaction because that's exactly what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hmm.
All right. And it looks like Maggie Tech has popped in and is asking, is everyone remembering to hydrate and stretch?
I did. Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah.
You're so cool.
Coming in with that care check, huh?
I love it.
Definitely lovely, definitely lovely. Let's see. 2-inch Wolf Boy, do you watch anime? And if
I
so,
do.
which is your favorite?
I liked Konosuba. It's hilarious. I like Attack on Titan. For the plot. I like I think those are my two. Well, Dragon Ball as well. I have seen it. I like yeah. I think those are my three favorite animes, and then other stuff that I don't remember anymore. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Konosuba is hilarious. I love it.
Konosuba is got some very out there characters, and they know what they're doing with the comedy. When you're
Also,
hold on. Oh,
also Nessie says in chat, people think my voice is fake. How, Nessie? How the freak? Your voice is so freaking cute. And then you are a
jeez.
60-year-old man in the basement. Yeah, no, this is just a recurrent joke.
Yeah,
At this point, it's cringe that people like keep using that, thinking it's funny. But yeah, you will get that. You just time them out or bonk them out of your stream. People are like
people.
sometimes.
uh,
This is
peop-
why I run my stream with two-factor authenticator. I
you know,
just yeah, I know I might be like probably if I didn't have two-factor authenticator, probably my streams could have more views than what they do now. But I feel pretty damn safe having that active because
yeah,
it protects me from bot rates. It protects me from everything almost. And if someone dares to put something that is transphobic while they have their account connected to a phone, well, they get banned and they no longer can rejoin. So that's
yeah.
GG.
Makes sense for a factor of one's own safety and all that. So, indeed, indeed. And let's see, Ness is given a little bit of reply. I have no idea. I could have sworn I heard something breaking while I'm looking at the prompter over here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I leaned my head over the building and bonk. It
I
fell
see, I
apart.
see. It was a little bit of a. We got to build these buildings better, huh?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, guys. Like whatever the expenses of this building is gonna come out of Saru's pocket. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is. That was already the plan already. But thank you for telling everybody.
Yes.
That and eventually, depending on how long it takes to get the artist I have going, there's going to be another thing coming out of the pocket, and hopefully, a big squeak interview portrait of you in the distant future. Because I'm trying to do that for each guest, but I'm only up to
Kid,
like episode 4 for the portraits, and we're on episode 31, so it might be
don't
a
worry
minute.
about it. You're fine.
Let's see. Yeah, Ness responding, I have no idea. I even tried to ask once and they just said it was too squeaky. No idea.
Honestly, just whatever. Nessie, your voice is beautiful. Even if you're a squeaky voice, like when I see your model and I hear you talking, it's like holy frick, so sweet, so cute, you know?
Alright, Ness is absolutely wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And I'm glad she's doing well on her streams as well.
Ness, I did pick up that game to play with you and Grim. We gotta plan that at some point. Just to casually toss that out there. Let's see. Oh, another one, and then we have the wrap-up question that somebody actually asked in the redeems as well. So, Chaotix asking to both of y'all again, when creating the lore of yourselves, when do you know it's enough or too much, and does it matter if it strays away from your own personality?
I mean, here's the deal, right? You can when you're creating your character, I guess, if it's you, like if it's a blending of who you are, it's gonna be very easy for you to be that character, right? Because you don't have to put on a mask and act. If you're trying to create something else, well, you have to remember that you really need to be comfortable in that way a lot because you're gonna be doing it a lot. If you're forcing yourself to be that way, although it's not natural to you, it might end up becoming boring
And
for
I'm
you.
gonna jump in here for a second. A lot of the VTubers I've seen that have gone through major burnout, no matter how successful or not, are those who wind up releasing a statement like, the person you've seen is a character the whole time, and I want to just be myself.
Yeah, it can be like a problem many times if you don't know how to handle that, or like if you're not 100% comfortable with it. And also to answer the previous part of the question, when creating lore, when do you know it's enough? Well, I mean, here's the deal, Chaotix. You can write a whole encyclopedia about the forest and the mountain and the weather and the river that is in the region in which you started, but no one cares. Unfortunate as that might be, no one cares. No, no one cares. Even for people like us, indie content creators, little to no one cares all those details. They just want some quick facts, and if those facts are relatable, that they can relate to you emotionally or somehow, then it's a click. If you're designing a whole Lord of the Rings around it, I advise to do it if you like it, but don't present everything at first, because it's too much. It's too much. Like there is no incentive for anyone, unfortunate as it might sound, to read someone else's extensive lore, even if it's the most beautiful written story, because they don't know who you are. If you already had an audience, you already be known, and all of a sudden you be like, "Hey guys, this is my full lore." You're gonna have a lot more attention because people are gonna try to be like, "Oh yeah, I remember during this stream, this person did that. Now this lore explains why they did it." So they kind of try to pick things up, but that happens later on in the future. I
It's
guess that's my
something you
advice.
don't want to front load, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So have the quick explanation, and then if you do really just enjoy writing lore, write as much as you please. Just don't drop the novel in front of somebody and say, "Hi, this is me."
Hmm. It's just
Yeah.
gonna be like a very a small part of who you are. It's important, but it's like a very first step to a really long stair. It's not the whole journey. So don't really like invest too much in it, but make it so that you really like it. That's it.
As for me personally, well, my lore is, really basic and simple overall. I just took some elements I liked and ran with it. But also, I'm kind of just one of those rare lore nerds who loves to talk about people and be like, oh, how does this work? How does that work? Give me
Mm.
details. So there are definitely people who are going to be big into the lore, but that's not the everybody. And like Chonky's been saying, it's not going to be the good onboarding experience for people showing up. They want to figure out who you are quick and snappy, and then they stick around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
In your favor, Chaotix, like you have a very mysterious character, like an entity living inside a mushroom plushie. That in itself is curious. That is why. What is happening? What is the lore? What is that entity that lives in the mushroom plushie? Like, I will genuinely like to know as you show me more of yourself over time. And then you can just build mystery around it. Because when that is mystery, you create intrigue. When you reveal all your cards at the first play, there is no longer anything new about you, and people be like, okay, I know it. It's like a meme. I have seen it. It's no longer funny. Kind of like that.
uh, yeah, the attention span online is not as long as it definitely could be.
Unfortunately, yeah, the TikTok videos have killed
Uh,
people. This generation's attention
yeah.
down to 15 seconds. Damn it.
uh, I work as a teacher, so I actually work with a lot of those kids, and one of
Yikes.
the things that goes on is a lot of the teaching is like, okay, now open up your laptop and play the learning game.
The
It,
learning game.
yeah, a bunch of learning games. That way they
What?
can try to learn how to, spell words and pronounce things from the computer.
Okay.
E. It's
The learn.
There's a whole
So,
host of, educational games where it's like, ah yes, it's the math game where you have to click the bones and drag them over to various dog bowls so they have the right number. Learn to count and yeah, it's
yikes.
exactly how it sounds. It is
Sa-
exactly how it
save,
sounds.
save the person from drowning. Every second that you take longer, the person falls down the screen. But if you get the multiplications right, the dude starts swimming up. Yeah,
Yep,
that's
yep,
oh my god, that is so
yep,
bad. Just
yep.
destroy that.
That's across the school district I'm working at. It's like, oh, everybody has their Chromebooks now. Everybody has their laptops. Oh no. So it's not just TikTok, it's the school system too. Lovely, isn't
Yeah, the school system is absolutely garbage. It just prepares
it?
people to work in office and don't really expand creativity at all. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's garbage. Garbage.
Jeez.
Garboagi. It's bad.
All
We're
right.
ranting now. We're ranting back into the
A
intro.
little bit. So I've it's been about an hour and a half. So that's around, the short estimate of we get through the questions, we have good time and banter. You did mention that you've had a bit of a busy week and you do want to potentially get a little bit more rest or have a little bit of time. So
Mm.
I don't have too many more questions as well. Unless anybody has a last minute question, I'm just going to ask the one that was actually popped up in chat as one of the redeem questions as well. Looking forward, looking forward. Let me pick up the exact question. That way we can give, I believe was it Ness? Scrolling. Yep, it was the Ness asking, what is your goal for the new year, large and small? What are your future plans?
Um, I can I could show you like a little something on Discord. Maybe you can show it on the screen
Oh,
because I think
I
that
can
I guess
I
that
can bring
answers
that
it
up.
better. I did this today. No, it was yesterday. It was yesterday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically like a roadmap I made.
Oh,
It literally showed my plans. I guess if you want to show that on the
all right.
stream, it's up to you.
Let me throw that over
Those
here.
are my
That way I can
plans,
bring it up.
basically.
I'll have to make sure to tactically avoid showing the thighs because Twitch bonk, huh?
Yeah. I mean, if you don't zoom into them, you're fine. But still, like, put something on
Let's see
top
where
to protect the tights from the Twitch bonk bonk.
new image.
I mean, my community
Thingy.
already knows about this, like, but it's better as an image, I guess. I like making this kind of stuff.
It does
Um,
help, be visually there and for people to see.
grrr.
Alright.
A small mouse? Oh, never mind. I'll answer the
There
question
we
later.
go.
You
So,
hiding the model though. It's so bad that you have to hide it. I'm sorry.
it is not. We gotta blame Twitch being so weird, huh?
Yeah, we do.
But as far as future plans, it looks like on this list, step 1 Live 2D model update planned for December 22 and January 23. Step
Yes, I'm gonna
2.
get to explain. Can I explain?
I was just gonna walk through the reading and be like, you can do everything, but if you want to explain as we go, that makes more sense. And it's probably a better idea.
I'm gonna get new hairstyle, probably one new facial expression,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a new clothes. I'm gonna get better wings as well, like some
Ooh.
model upgrades, and here better rigging left and right, improving the quality of the stuff. So that's
Mm-hmm.
basically step number one. That's for the end of the year or the beginning of the next year. Then comes my debut, plus some merch, but it's programmed by April or May. This also depends if I have applied for a VTuber agency known as Kawa Entertainment
Mm-hmm.
for the reasons that I could benefit from their knowledge in merch, sponsorships, and advertisement. So either it be that I joined Kawa because I get selected or not, I'm still gonna get my merch done through them. Obviously, it will be better if I get accepted so they can do it for me. Easy.
Yep.
But then at the end of the year 2023, I want to have a light 3D model with full body tracking so I can sit on people's faces.
Big sit.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep, yep,
that's basically the image. You can take it off now if you like.
all right. And that basically wraps it up, though. Reed did ask a question. Usually it's a bit of a
Both.
tradition as well for me to say to the guest, if there's somebody you would like to send everybody from the interview to, you may direct the raid if you'd like, as well as, if you like, send the raid message too.
Oh,
Let's
really?
see. Yeah, yeah, it's a good way to just say, hey, this person was doing something cool. Look at that. And to show off people that I would never really get to see otherwise. I
All right.
think
Let me.
part of how I met a bunch of people I've interviewed and friends with was through people like Santa suggesting people to raid, so feel
I'm
free to
gonna
take a
drop their
glance around.
name in the
Good, good.
chat.
Let's
They're
see.
a VTuber brother.
Reed the Small Mouse is asking, as a fellow wholesome lover, do you prefer hugs or head pats?
Both. Both are good depending on the situation. I like both. Head pats,
Both is
hugs,
good.
tummy rubs. Everything is good.
Alright, in which case, that is, well, that's all I had planned for the interview, so, thank you for,
Thank you
sparing me as
guys.
much of this time. Thank you all
Thank
who
you.
stopped by, and I did see a lot of follows from Chonky's community, so thank you all for dropping in and saying I'm worth a bit of your time too, huh?
Thank you so
Let's get
much,
ready
guys.
to raid.
Thank you,
Hoo-hoo.
Saru, for
Oh,
everything, for hosting the thingy. It's
thank
nice.
you, Chonky, for, popping by and hopefully having a good time. That's the goal.
I did. I did have a great
You
time.
did?
Thank you for organizing this. It's
Oh,
cute.
mission accomplished then. Mission
Ah,
accomplished, mission accomplished. Good times.
take care,
Alright.
everyone. See you another time. Bye bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Oh,
You're
raid's ready
great,
in like
Saru.
5 seconds. It's gotta. There we go. I can click. Go. Raid.
And
Raid.
it's done.
Raid. It's okay. It's done.